of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.
Just took a swipe at my shoe. That little son of a bee just took a swipe at my shoe. Brandon,
Heyo.
did you order a
Hey.
pair?
Oh,
Did you order a pair?
no, I have them all pulled up. I'm looking at them all, though. I have like
It's
all
Prime
15.
Days, dude. It's Prime Days.
Wait, from Amazon? You said to get them from eBay.
Either one. Yeah, probably eBay because eBay's the dudes that have all the little stores.
Are they so the ones that I found out, I looked for that orange pair and it's like white on Amazon. It's so weird. Anyway, so like
Oh,
I
yeah,
checked
no.
them out.
That seller, it says white, but if you look in the description, it's orange. That's the one.
Weird. Okay. I got
Yeah.
you. No, I had them pulled up. I'm gonna get a pair for sure.
I got my white
Okay.
ones. You want to see them?
No, yeah,
Or
that's
these are-
good.
These are my,
Check 'em.
they're chalk white. So it's off white.
Dude, I'm getting them. It's over. Man,
And
it's over.
These glow in the dark. You can't see it, but
No,
they glow in the dark. I don't know how they do it. Some kind of space age technology.
I can assure you that Prime Day got its money worth out of me yesterday. I can assure you that much.
What'd you get on Prime Day?
Enough. I got a brand new camera, which I have enough. I have 2 cameras already, but I got another one.
Is that the new one?
No, this isn't the new one. It gets here today, but I got the upgrade. It's the Sony A7 IV, which is it's quite a step up. This is the A6400, and that's the one that I'm on is the A6300, which is weird. I use the older one. So I'm going to bump up to the A7 IV and use it. It's a little bit better. So
I could never get that new camera that I got working to work, and it's just sitting there. I never even returned it. I'm such a dummy.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, this is good. We have the political, I don't know if it's the political landscape or the election year, but like it is nonstop crap that we're going to cover today.
Lots of
Nonstop.
crap. Lots of good crap.
We got to get something out of the way first because I feel like there's a little education that I need to do here, and this is good
Oh,
because
shit.
We've done this education a few times. Actually, there would be 3 bits. One of the bits would be a solid rant if I actually wanted to start it, but this one's a good piece. This is a good
Ooh.
education reminder because I think we've done this a couple times before, and I want to explain how the Ethereum blockchain works for gas fees because if you send a transaction, for example, if you wanted to send Ethereum from your wallet to another wallet, it has a gas fee involved. Now, that gas transaction is relatively simple. It's hey, do you have this money in your wallet? What's the address you want to send it to? And it sends. So it only has a few lines of code. If you guys ever did Visual Basic back in high school, there's like if-then statements. That's basically what a smart contract is on another level. It checks all these things, and then it spits out and says, yeah, you're green-lighted to send this ETH over here. And all those lines of code cost a little bit of GWEI. Each one that has to go through costs a little bit of GWEI. Okay, so a send transaction is one of the cheaper transactions that you can do on the Ethereum blockchain. If you want to do a swap on the Ethereum blockchain, it costs a little bit more money because then it has to go through, it has to check the liquidity pool, has to check that the token's legit that you're punching in, has to check that you have enough ETH in your wallet for the transaction. Then it has to send the transaction. So boom, 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 boom. More lines of code, more GWEI, more cost. Okay. When you mint an NFT on Node Market, for example, I'm going to go back over here to the mint page and I am going to share this screen. And let's go ahead and get rid of, how do we get rid of the banner here? Actually, I can make this bigger.
Oh, I can do it.
There we go. Okay. So when you mint a NFT, this is cool because a mint transaction costs a little bit more because it has to check a few things. But whether you mint 1 or if you mint 10, it really doesn't matter to the mint contract because all you're changing is that one variable. It says, how many do you want to mint? 1, 10? And to the mint contract, it's a little bit different, okay? And so it's like hardly any gas fee change, actually 0 gas fee change, whether you mint 1 or 100. Now, this is where we get to our question because I think I hopefully have explained a little bit of background on gas fees and how those kind of work. It's all smart contract based and it depends on the number of lines of code that it has to go through. Okay. So the question that I got here is I was talking with someone and they were asking about the claim on the NFTs and why it costs so much or so little for some other people. Anyway, so we're going to go through here. I'm going to read the question and I blocked out a few things because I don't think that it's necessary to know those things. Anyway, it says, I don't get this. The amounts per NFT are calculated and deposited in our rewards account each month and added to our running total until we claim them. Why would this be counted again when the total is already deposited and available to claim? Okay, so there's the first thing that we're gonna walk through that. Anyway, I would expect some gas charge for transferring the balance to my wallet I have already correctly calculated and deposited in my rewards balance. But what is the nature of the fee for doing this extra recounted? Okay, so anyway, we'll go through this. Seems exorbitant, which I get. Anyway, so let me walk through the process of how the claim works, the claim contract. So the claim works. So each month on the 25th, I put in the claim amount to the smart contract. And then it goes and it calculates, it says, oh, how many NFT owners are there? Blah, blah, blah. How much do you earn per NFT and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And it kind of shows you your potential claim amount, what you can pull out. Now, when you go to actually make the claim, you're pulling from this contract here online. And you can see all these people have made the claim 17 hours, 29 hours, 3 hours ago. So this person right here, I'm going to pull up this transaction because this person has one NFT. Okay. And they pulled out $5.30, which would have been maybe the last couple months or whatever it is. And this transaction is their transaction. They pulled out $5.30. They did it when Gwei was at 2, which is actually super smart. And then we can go see how much they paid on their Gwei transaction. They actually ended up paying 59 cents for their transaction, which is like super, super efficient. Okay. They got quoted, no, or 75 cents, sorry, 75 cents. And that's how much they ended up paying to pull off the rewards. Now, the NFT claim contract is a little bit different because it has to go through those lines of code for every NFT you have. So if this person, where they had one NFT, it goes through the line of code one time and says, okay, you have NFT number 3406. Is it valid for claim? It goes through that line of code. Yes. How much is the claim amount? It goes through that line of code. Yes. Have you claimed before? No. Are you available for claim today? Yes. So it goes through all those lines of code for that one NFT. And then if that person were to have another NFT, it goes through all those lines of code again when you go claim. So if you have 100 NFTs, for example, it would have to go through that line of code 100 times, and there's no other way to do it. It can't just say you have numbers 1 through whatever, because there's so many different checks that it has to do. It has to go through each individual NFT each time and check to make sure that that NFT hasn't claimed, what claims it's available to claim, and then it lets you claim that thing by clicking on the function. So if you have, this person had one NFT, if you had 100 NFTs and you went to claim, it's $75 is what this transaction would have cost, okay? And it's 75 cents per NFT. Now, this is also why we tell you to let these stack as long as possible, but when Gwei's at 2 cents or 2 Gwei, then yeah, I would have banged those out. But hopefully that kind of makes sense a little bit, but it's not per claim. You can't just like, oh, I have 100 NFTs, I'm going to go claim. It has to manually check each one of those NFTs in the smart contract, so it duplicates the amount of work. It's like labor hours. So if you wanted to make an ice cream cone, you would pay for, one ice cream cone to get made. But where you have 100 NFTs and you want to claim 100 times, essentially 100 ice cream cones have to get made. So you have to pay the labor on that 100 times. So you have to pay the miner on that 100 times. That's just the best way the contract was made, and that's why we're at. Anyway, hopefully that made a little bit of sense here, and we can rock and roll on that. Now, the next question here, I'll let Nick go ahead and answer this one. This is the hypershare question. So can you talk about why we want to create a hypershare? I went back and listened to the last 3 shows and can't find it. I created one just now. It was easy to do, of course. Oh my gosh. This is where, and this isn't the question either. Anyway, but what is the purpose of creating it, and does it matter if I do individuals, doubles, or quads? Anyway,
Well,
cycle node manager because it looks flipping cool.
it would be for the tilling. And so you would create the hypershare one. Eventually everybody's going to have to do this, or they're not going to be able to get any kind of payment for their node licenses. You want those node licenses to be in production. They have to be plugged in somewhere, pointing somewhere. So right now, licenses were getting tilling because HyperPG was doing the tilling, basically doing half the work for all of your licenses. And that was kind of a little free kind of bonus, whatever. The free tilling era is going away, and it's going to be tilling as a service, meaning people would pay to have their nodes be tilling, or they would have a Hyper AI box or some equivalent piece of hardware, and they would be doing the tilling part until compute rolls out, which is going to be, we don't know. They're testing compute right now, but we don't know when they'll flip the switch. So whenever they do flip the switch, then you're going to have to decide, okay, where do I want to point these things? Do I want to run these on my own hardware, or do I want to point them to Hyperpools or HyperPG or some other answer? Because we're going to also have a solution for that, I think. Is that right, Brandon? We'll have some kind of solution for that. So the reason you would want to right now make a hypershare is because you don't want your tilling to stop. So that's the easy answer right now. I mean, do you have to do anything this second? No, you don't have to do it this second, but in the coming days, week or whatever, weeks, you're going to have to do it. Again, they've finalized the tilling as a service, all that software. They just haven't rolled it out. So I'm sure they're bug testing and doing more bug testing and doing more bug testing. Lots of bug testing. So that's all I got. Brandon, your thoughts?
Oh, weird. No, that's important to note. So these are two different hypershares that I've created. I'm going to point this out too right now because I met with some guys yesterday on what we're going to be doing. So there's going to end up being a delegate button here, and then we're going to have a couple options. You can delegate to HyperPG, or you can delegate to, we have a hardware provider that we're working with, and it'll probably end up being cheaper or a better value. But this one I created over on Hypercycle's DApp, and you'll notice that I don't own the hypershare anymore. What it did is it went into a managerial contract that they have, so they now own it. This one I created on Node Market, so I can transfer it, I can revert it, I can do anything I want with it, I can send it, and this is where I'll be able to delegate it. This one's basically already they locked it in their contract, and they're gonna like do with it as they will. If you look at the same hypershare over on their DApp, this is what it looks like. This is it. Let me see if I can click anything. Hold on. Yeah, this is it. So you can kind of see, yeah, you can kind of see the differences here. Anyway, so we can kind of show you the differences there. But basically, we're going to put a button over here that will let you do that if you want. And remember, they take, I think, 30% of the R tokens immediately are gone when you do that. And that's not, we can walk through that a different day too. But they take 30% of the R tokens, and that's going to be basically held in like an escrow type thing for a future hardware provider. They haven't actually linked it up to any hardware yet, nor have they set it other than the parent to be tilling for this thing. So you're still tilling on the main parent that was already tilling and stuff. So anyway, I will go through. Their contract costs a little bit more to use. It was almost double when I did it of what creating one on ours was. And I think that must be because of their delegation script that they have written in there. And so it is, I think overall, it'll be like 27% less to do it over here and then to delegate it over here, which is a pro, right? But also, oh my gosh, keep in mind too, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go on this thing. I got yelled at. Oh my gosh. I got yelled at, right? Well, not yelled at. So yesterday I got yelled at by this group of people that have purchased nodes from us, right? They're like, hey, you didn't send us all the nodes. And then I think they're like, point of contact over at Hypercycle contacted me and, hey, you didn't send all the nodes to these people. I'm like, yeah, we did. And so like, I've gone through over and over that, like I've repeated this process like 18 times with this group and I pointed out the transactions, so it takes a lot of time with me to go through this stuff. And this is a group that got one of their wallets hacked like halfway through, hacked. Anyway, hacked. And then so I helped them set up a multi-sig wallet halfway through.
So many
there's so many hackers. So I helped them set up a multi-sig for their licenses halfway through, and then they had to purchase some more licenses. They ended up getting like a lot of Hypercycle taken too, and it was really weird the way everything happened with that thing and when I did the research. But regardless, I helped them do all this stuff. And then so they ended up having like 4 different wallets that they would buy from. And then they're like, well, we need to send it to these 4 different wallets. So like I had to like do all that manipulation and stuff and then verify transactions. And I'm like, hey, you have to do a test transaction to be able to verify proof of ownership of this wallet. So I had to make them do that. So it was a walkthrough process. So then when the time came to actually send them all the nodes, I sent them all out, right? And now just recently they're like, hey, we didn't get all the nodes. It's like yesterday. I'm like, yeah, you did, dude. We've gone through this like 8 times. So then I had to go through, and it sucks because then it's like on me that I have to prove that I sent them again. I'm like, okay. So like, no, you didn't send them. They sent all this documentation. Then they went tattletaled on Hypercycle. Hey, these guys aren't sending out nodes. And then they anyway, so I proved in like 8:44 seconds that I sent them the stuff. Now what had happened was they're like, hey, we're missing all these nodes. And I'm like, oh, well, actually, those node licenses you said are missing, you actually transferred those out of a wallet yesterday into a different wallet that you didn't tell me about. And I just went and tracked where they
These
sent the nodes
motherfuckers
to.
are trying to steal.
Anyway, well, I don't know what's going on, but
do you assholes know that the fucking Ethereum blockchain is not something you can just fucking put a highlighter on your screen? You can't take a Sharpie and fucking go over the part of the screen where the transaction is and then tell people it never happened. This shit is forever. It is in perpetuity. The first fucking transaction that ever occurred in Bitcoin, you can go look at it. The first fucking transaction that ever occurred in Ethereum, you can go look at it right now. Ever. And every other transaction since then. You fucking dummies. I'm not talking to anybody here. I'm talking about the people that think they're so fucking stupid, or that we're so fucking stupid they can steal from us. Fuck you.
Well, the thing is, they're not even digital investors, so that's even more frustrating to me. And so it's like,
no, but look, I don't mind anybody coming and using. We built this software so that people could use it, but don't try to pull some old like day one fucking bullshit scam. Be like, not here. Oh, really? What's that? Well, no, that's different. Yeah, you're right. It's not there because you transferred it. You lying fuck.
I think it's. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not there because you transferred it. And now you're trying to get some free shit. You don't think anybody's going to check Etherscan, you dummy?
Well, the biggest, I think the issue is they weren't using Node Market, so they were a little bit confused too. Because they're like, I'm like, guys, you can use Node Market, and I could catch their transaction. So I showed them, like, they're like, oh my gosh, that looks good. They're like, oh, it looks pretty. And I'm like, yeah, it is pretty. Like you can see because when you look on the blockchain and you look over at like I just showed you Hypercycle's DApp thing, right? Like just barely. You just see the string of characters. You don't see this pretty like image. You don't see like, if I were to go over to like my profile and see all the licenses, you don't see all the numbers there. So what they ended up doing was they got confused with all their licenses. They didn't know what was what. And so it was a 32 node bundle, and they thought it was an 8 node bundle or a 4 node bundle or something.
They know that they transferred it out. So
yeah, they did know that. And it's like,
at the very least, they know that they're lying. That's the poor man's dumbass version of a double spend, you fucking dicks.
Yeah, it was a little bit frustrating yesterday. And so then I like encouraged them to use Node Market, and they're like, we'll see. Anyway, because on Node Market, everything you can see, like you can see, oh, this is a 32 node bundle, or this is an 8 node bundle, right? And on anywhere else, you can't see that. You can only see those characters. Oh my gosh. Here, let me just I gotta pull that back up.
If you're gonna be a thief, man, be a good thief. Don't use some rinky-dink ass, redneck ass, dumbass. Come on, man. C'est non sehr. We looked. It's like the Germans. This is the Germans. I'm gonna 2 birds with 1 stone, Joseph. All of the Bitcoin is gone. Where is it? You sold it. What? It was in your wallet. You remember the last 3 weeks you dumped it on exchanges? What do you mean? Where is the 50,000 Bitcoins? Where are they? You sold them.
It's funny, every time I go here, it's like doesn't show my hyper shares. And then if I go to
you gotta
licenses, then back, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I think
Yeah,
it showed up. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So then it shows up. So basically, this is what your license looks like anywhere else. 450387450539461 or or you can go over to Node Market and see clearly. This is the same like thing. This is the string of characters, right? This is the license. This is it. This is all you would see. But we've made it so what happens is it goes and looks at this license, it figures out what it is, and it shows you an image of what the license looks like or what the hypershare looks like. So even if I were to go look at the licenses or whatever, I could actually see what the licenses look like. So when you go to somebody's like profile page or something that has any licenses here, they can see, oh, this is a 16 node license bundle. Boom. And instead of just seeing this license ID, they see, oh, beautiful. It's so, anyway, I'm just very proud of what we've done. So anyway, go ahead. That's it. I'm done. We have so much to cover today. I'm sorry. I think I went off a little long. I wasn't even going to talk about that.
Hey, this is the other thing, Brandon. Can you pull up can you show what an audit looks like on some code? Just show an audit.
Oy. That's off. Let me.
I know this is a weird thing, but this will accomplish a couple things. Every now and then people are like, I just don't know about Node Market because the audit. I just don't trust the audit. Oh, really? You don't trust the audit? You don't trust the audit? You read the audit? You know how to read an audit? You don't trust it. Some guy was like, I don't trust it. It was the Singularity DAO guy. Oh, by the way, why don't you guys audit your own shit so maybe that your pools actually pay and you can log in from day to day? Or you don't trust that audit? Oh, well, what audit?
This is cool. This is part of the exchange audit that we had done on. Oh, this is the OTC. This is our version 2. This is cool because what these guys do is they run through. This guy, he runs through the contract for like a week and he tests this stuff, right? So he goes through and he does everything he can to break the contract. He takes the contract, he duplicates it on a test net, and then he just goes to town, okay? So basically this was, and he kind of puts it in plain English, so you can actually go through and read here. The purpose of this contract is to facilitate direct trading of tokens between parties. So a direct OTC exchange.
Right. You know what's not in there? Custody.
There's no custody.
Because we don't fucking do custody. So, anyway, carry on.
This is just a part of it. Anyway, re-entry guard. So the re-entrance guard, he called out, he said it's not used. Contract might be vulnerable to re-entry attack. We went through and we looked at that and decided we didn't need it based on some other parameters that we did. Anyway, 3 admin roles. Oh, we changed this too. So this must be a preliminary one. So 3 admin roles were given to message.center. So we actually separated the admin roles. So 3 different administrators were able to do different functions on the contract and no single, it's like the separation of judicial branches is what this ended up being. Limits should be implemented for cancel multiple orders to avoid run out of gas air. We fixed that. Anyway, some couple other things.
Oh,
this is really cool.
Read that part where it says questionable and concerning, because that was bothering. Someone was like, "There's some things that concern me." Literally, where it says questionable, concerning.
And this was the first one. None found during the test. We honestly like, and I got to give a shout out to the person who wrote this, dude. He is like, like really good. We've been working on some other contracts for Hypercycle, and the stuff that he found some broken parts of Optimism contracts that we've reached out to Optimism to fix. And so like
we should get a bug bounty for that shit.
We should. Like, it's like they broke their EVM gateway. Anyway, so we're helping them fix that because it's actually causing a little bit of a snafu for us with some stuff that we're trying to do on bridging and stuff. So they broke their EVM gateway by deploying this new fix that they tried to do back in the day, and it actually broke ENS, broke about a couple of other things. Anyway, so Optimism.
So
good luck. Anyway,
the point of all this is, when we build something, we go and check it and get people way smarter than us, and then smarter than them, and then smarter than the derivative of them to check it. And we've also, in addition to all that, we don't do custody. Node Market doesn't ever own your stuff, ever. We don't hold your stuff. We don't touch your stuff. We can't take your stuff if we wanted to. And for those of you that are so inclined, you can go check the code. That's the beauty of it. That's why our shit's not broken all the time. I can't say the same for all these other platforms. And by all these other, I mean Doubt.
The
Like-
interesting part, these audit reports are fairly simple when they give you the summary because there's not a lot to it if there's like no problems, right?
If
So
it's
they'll
broke,
give you
it's
the
broke.
errors,
If it ain't, it ain't.
and they'll
Yeah.
give you like it ain't, right? But these guys
shit.
test this for like a week straight. Oh shoot, we gotta go. Okay,
Yep.
sorry. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, listen, we'd love to stay. We'd love to stay.
We'd love to
but,
explain things more, but we gotta go.
we
Sorry.
can't.
Come on.
The sheriff has spoken.
Yep, we're going.
It's time to go behind the wall.
We're good.
And for that, we have. You still can't hear when I do this applause thing like this. You're not hearing.
Wait, I heard like a blip of it. Hold on.
You didn't hear any applause.
Do it again.
It's an applause button. You ready? Okay, here we go.
Nothing really, but it's like it almost tries to play and then doesn't though. It's like really weird. Anyway,
It's playing
hold
on mine, and I don't understand why that one doesn't play, but my other ones do play. Why are half my licenses missing? Because you're only wearing half of your glasses, Howard. Put your other half of your glasses on.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway,
I'm so excited today. We have so much to go over,
We're
like real
going
stuff.
behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.